Not every film can be Citizen Kane, but even critics have claimed that it was shit in its day. Some films are shit and shit they will stay, but some get better over time because of Nicolas Cage. So which film stays shit forever? And which one's got a little bit better? Second chance movies. No poor bloods were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Welcome to Second Chance Movies, the podcast where we rewatch movies and decide if they deserve a second chance.
I'm Joe Harper, your host who loves rewatching movies and collecting toys.
And I'm Jessica Kwazz, your one and done kind of movie viewer who is actually a robot in disguise. And today we are going to be talking about Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon.
It's Dark of the Moon and not Dark Side of the Moon?
Wait, is it? I think it's Dark of the Moon.
It's Dark of the Moon. I'd be calling it Dark Side of the Moon, like Pink Floyd album.
Well,
okay.
That would make sense, but nope, it's Dark of the Moon.
Well, the reason we're reviewing this movie today is it's one of the Transformers movies. It was the only one I was willing to watch a second time. It's got mixed reviews as it being a Transformers movie, a Michael Bay movie, a movie that had Shia LaBeouf in it. It's mixed reviews all around. So we're going to see if time helped this movie.
What's it like now? We'll tell you.
Well, let's start off with our first time watching it. Do you remember your first time watching this?
Oh, kind of, yes. So I was living in Chicago when this movie came out. And of course, Chicago is the backdrop for the intense big fight scenes of the Transformers. And we'll get into that a little bit later. And my friends and I who were in the dorm with me, I think we like huddled around someone's like computer and watched a torrented copy of the movie because we were too poor to afford to go to a Chicago movie theater. And we were just watching it because it's like, our city, destruction, robots, let's watch robots fuck up our city. So that's why we were there. And literally before this second time around with it, because this viewing was my actual second time. I hadn't seen it since it first came out.
Wow.
That's all I remembered about this movie was like the Chicago destruction of it all.
Okay. I definitely saw this one when it came out. I think I was in college. One of my closest friends in college was obsessed with Shia LaBeouf. We had to watch every movie that he was in theaters. I mean, I was still probably would have seen this regardless because I like big popular movies. I'm gonna check this one out. I'm a toy collector. I love collecting action figures. Transformers is one of the few toy lines I do not care about. I get the appeal. It's robots that transform from robot to car. That's kind of fun. But like I never owned them. I'm not a car person. I don't care. I'm into the movies. So
quick question for you, Joe, because you have a story that is like one of my favorite Joe stories in your life. Is the friend you're referring to the same friend that asked you to go to the Shia LaBeouf installation in LA?
That is the same friend.
Can you talk about that for the audience, please?
Oh man. So way back when, I think when I first moved out to LA, it was in the hype of Shia, the I'm Not Famous Anymore. But anyway, she was like, oh, he's doing an exhibit and I want you to just go to him and tell him like we love him and that he's still great and we support him no matter what. That's fine. I'll do it. And I stood in line for, I want to say like 6 hours to see him. You go in this like room, it's one small room. There was like 12 items on the table. There was like a bottle of whiskey, a bowl of mean tweets, an Optimus Prime toy, and a bullwhip for like Indiana Jones. And the lady there was like, you can take one item and take it into the next room. Okay, cool. Because Shia's in that next room. and he would only like talk to one person at a time, but he wouldn't talk to anyone. He had a bag over his head and just hands on the table and just was staring straight at you. I took the Optimus Prime toy because I love collecting toys. I put that on the table. Instantly, the person I am, I was like, I gotta take a picture of this. So I did that. I had heard people in line taking off his bag. So I took off his bag and took a picture. Which, you know, I'm gonna do that. But a lot of people in line would like take like, because there was no like time limit. You could talk to him for as long as you wanted, which was kind of ridiculous. Because if you wanted to like fuck around and poke him in the head for like 30 minutes,
yeah,
I think he would just allow that to happen.
Because wasn't the idea that like you could go into the room and like do whatever you want to him kind of idea? I think that's what it was. So, I don't know.
So my thoughts, I went up, I just took my picture, and after I took the picture, I go, you know what, man? I'm a proxy for my friend, but we both have the same message to you. We think you're great. You're really talented. You know, hopefully this blows over and people like you again, because we do, and keep making good work, because like you're talented. And he just stuck out his hand to like shake my hand. I was like, oh shit, he's not supposed to be doing this. But we shook hands, and then I left. I was like, you know what? Bye. I'm not wasting his time. I'm not wasting anyone else's time in line, because like everyone 2 minutes tops. Like say something hi to Shia, bye to Shia.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, while I was waiting in line, this is the part you want.
This is my favorite part.
I don't know if I could I don't want anyone to like find me and take this away, because that would be so sad. So right next door, because this line was so ridiculous, there was another art exhibit hosted by, I believe, Jerry O'Connell.
Sure was.
Who is in wonderful films like Stand By Me and Piranha 3D. So he's so what he's doing over there, if you didn't want to wait 6 hours to see Shia, he would just shake your hand within like 3 seconds. I'm sorry. And he came out afterwards and shook everyone's hand. I'm sorry. And like, that was his bit, and was done. They painted a painting that sits in my hallway outside that door that said, I see it every morning. I don't know why I don't know it off the top of my head. The painting itself says, what you say is who you are. Hashtag I'm sorry too. And the bouncer at Shia's thing flipped that around, and I was like, why'd you flip that around? He's like, it's not part of our exhibit. I was like, oh, so if anyone was to take it, would you stop them? No, not at all. Interesting. He's like, I know what you're saying. I'm totally allowing it to happen. And so after I said hi to Shia, I just went up, I grabbed it real quick, and just took off. So Jerry O'Connell, I have that art. Fuck you, I'm keeping it. You're awesome in Piranha 3D. Go Jerry O'Connell.
I just love the very, very niche pop culture moment that you were just in any way possible, and have mementos and photos to relive it whenever you please. I just love it. It's such a weird little thing that you really were in deep.
It's exciting having that, especially waking up every day and walking out my bedroom door and bam, it's right there. I'm sure the wife loves it. Okay, so for those of you who do not remember Transformers 3, Dark of the Moon. Yikes, I'm never gonna get that right.
No.
Here's the summary that IMDb has. The Autobots learn of a Cybertronian, God, I can't get through this, spacecraft hidden on the moon and race against the Decepticons to reach it and learn of its secrets. I can't even get through this.
What?
Oh my God, Transformers is so stupid.
It's so stupid. Okay,
guys, here we go. Here's Joe trying his hardest to read this as seriously as possible.
Yeah, give us a dramatic reading.
Okay, here we go. The Autobots learn of a Cybertronian spacecraft hidden on the moon and race against the Decepticons to reach it and to learn its secrets.
Wow. Beautiful. It was beautiful work, Joe. You should be very proud of yourself.
If I was describing this movie to people, I would just say it's another space robots who turn into cars movie.
Okay, I would say it's 2 movies in one. The first movie is a conspiracy theory movie that seems like it's made by a trust fund kid, and then it becomes a Transformers movie.
Okay, what's the trust fund part?
Just like to me, this feels like the concept of the first half feels like something that a like inexperienced filmmaker would be like, you'd be crazy if like JFK and the moon landing and like Chernobyl and it's robot aliens, blah. And then someone was like, sure, kid, here's family money. Go make your little movie. Go make your little Star War.
I really like when movies take history and tweak it just for like fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I think we forget about that happening for the 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah, it's really strange. And it doesn't end up meaning anything, truly. So it really does feel like 2 different movies for me.
Would you like to hear some reviews? What's your favorite thing?
Of course, I would love to hear some reviews of Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon.
Let's start off with some somehow positive reviews.
Okay.
Kate Roger of News Hub said, "It's big, it's brash, it's loud, it's dumb, and it's mostly entertaining if that's what you're up for." You know what? I am. I'm up for dumb stuff.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, who's not?
But you know what? I like the big brash stuff. I don't really care about the everything else part.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, the big brash stuff is the most fun. So
I think I should have mentioned this earlier.
Oh.
Rotten Tomatoes, on the tomato meter, this movie received a 35%.
Oh.
The audience score was 55%. So both rotten. Matt Joseph from We Got This Covered.
Oh.
Transformers Dark of the Moon is one of the best blockbusters I've seen in years. No other action film can compare to what is undoubtedly Michael Bay's magnum opus. This is the film to beat this summer.
That is deranged.
Oh man.
Sir.
2011 movies. I have to Google it right now.
What? This guy, I didn't see what he saw in this movie.
2011. You know what other movies we got? Captain America, the First Avenger.
Okay.
Thor.
Yeah. Fun visuals.
Real Steel.
Very similar movie.
Fast and Furious 5.
Okay.
Green Lantern. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that.
X-Men First Class. Okay, never mind.
Right. Yeah, maybe he's
In
onto
Time?
something.
Okay, so 2011 wasn't the best.
It
for
wasn't
action,
that
big budget.
great.
But you know what we did get in 2011? Moneyball.
Okay.
I mean, it's
sure.
not a big. Oh, you know what? I take it all back. We got Mission Impossible 4: Ghost Protocol.
Oh, homeboy, yeah, that's the movie to beat, honey.
So Matt Joseph, you're an idiot.
You're wrong.
Ghost Protocol, I think, is still like one of the best action movies of all time.
I totally agree. It holds up, and
Tom
the things
Cruise
they
is
do.
Climbing the side of a building.
He climbs the side of a building. I don't care what kind of explosions Michael Bay has. Hello, it takes the cake. My God.
Henry Fitzherbert of the Daily Express wrote, "There's no doubt it could have been much worse. It could have been Transformers 2.
You know what? I do have to agree with that review. It could have been much worse.
So
it could have been Transformers 2.
I do not remember Transformers 1 or 2. I remember 1, he gets Bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute, like, hey, I'm ready to learn how to drive, and I got a car, and oh no, the car's an alien.
Yeah.
Adorable idea. Great. The second one, I do not remember it. It ends with like a pyramid.
I guess. Like, I just remember it was messy. It was a very messy movie.
Oh, let's hear some negative reviews. Shabra Gupta of the Indian Express wrote, "So how does Michael Bay justify making a third? Why, by making the film a little dense as to plot and giving it perhaps the longest climax ever in Hollywood history. Yeah, but you know what? The Chicago part is like the best part of this movie.
It is. That long climax is the best part.
When I was like, we're watching Transformers 3, at least it has that whole destroying Chicago part that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Anthony Lane of The New Yorker wrote, "The third outing for a herd of toys that should have stayed in their boxes." I couldn't agree more.
And you love toys.
I love toys. I even brought the Transformers ones I did have. Look at these little guys. I couldn't name. I know this one. He has Optimus.
Optimus Prime, yeah.
These guys? I don't know what their names are.
I don't know.
He's a jet. And if you were like, hey, Joe, try and turn one of them into a robot. I don't know if I want to because I don't know if I could get it back. Maybe while we're talking about the movie, I'll try and turn one into a robot.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can do it while we talk.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Sarah Mars of Cinesnark, where I do not give Bay any kind of pass, the problem I identify as unlikely his own, and the reason I think that no matter how technically proficient he is a bad filmmaker. His utter tone deafness to stereotypes and characterizations.
I have to say, yeah, girl, I agree.
There's, I don't know, you and I definitely agree on one thing that we'll talk about later is one thing we do not like about this movie.
Yeah, but you know, like, yeah, he's a visual mastermind. He's got some really cool sequences, but I do not find him to be a wonderful filmmaker. Sorry about it. So do you want to start off with what we liked or what we didn't like about this movie?
I think we need to start off what we liked about this movie. Because I think once we get into making fun of this movie, it will not stop.
That's true. And so I'll just say the one thing I liked about this movie the most.
The what? Okay. The one thing that I liked.
The one thing that I did
like.
What's
the thing you liked the most about the movie?
The thing I liked the most about this movie is obviously the big war between the Autobots and the Decepticons that takes place in Chicago. It's just, there's so many dope fight scenes. There's so many cool, like, just crazy, like, big robots taking over buildings, taking over a city, doing what they gotta do. And in this movie, the whole point of it is that they're trying to bring back their planet to Earth. And like sort of the center for that is going to be in Chicago. Now there's like a whole bunch of backstory that we don't need that gets us to that point. But I like the idea of like, they're like, we're going to restore our planet and it's going to be here. So deal with it. So there's this like, it's not only the destruction of a city, it's like essentially the destruction of the world.
Yeah,
but it starts here of Earth, but it starts here in Chicago. So there's like a lot of stakes to like ending this fight in Chicago. The humans on the ground are trying to do all sorts of things to prevent this. Then we got the Autobots coming in being like, Decepticons, what you're doing is not cool, we're not into this. And yeah, like I said, there's just so many dope visuals. My favorite part, or one of my favorite parts of this fight, is that we have some of our humans. We got our Shia LaBeouf and our Tyrese Gibson and their little team. They're in a skyscraper trying to like point and shoot down at like this big pillar that's essentially transferring their planet to here. And in doing so, they get to this high rise, but one of the robots starts attacking that high rise and starts knocking it down. So our humans are like slipping. Shockwave is getting into this building, knocking it down. So our humans are like sliding down a building, trying to figure out a way to like not die. There's just so many cool sequences in that I just thought was like really fun to watch. And there's just so many moments like that throughout the whole Chicago sequence that is like really cool. So for me, like the Chicago sequence is the movie. I just
cut
like
everything else out. Just have
cut
this.
everything else out because like
Actually,
this is what we want.
Give us a little bit of the JFK at the beginning and just jump to this.
Just jump to it. Like there's
Aggressively jump.
There's just an aggressive jump because there's so much that we literally don't need. All the backstory leading to that, way too much. We do not need any of it.
I was able to, I think, build Optimus.
Oh my god, yeah.
He looks kind of jankety. I think his hand is a wheel.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
So yeah, the thing I like the most is just everything that happens in Chicago, the destruction. So basically the last hour of the movie.
So I'm going to be way more general than what you just did. I think anyone that animated on this movie had anything to do with creating those Transformers, that's the highlight of this movie.
Yeah.
The Transformers moving, shifting gears, whatever, anything they're doing, the animation is on point. Especially if there's any like close-up shots going into things, and just so many things are moving parts and just wrapping in and out of itself. It's just so nice to look at. Visually, it's so pleasing and it looks awesome. Everyone that worked on the movie visually for visual effects, making those look great, awesome. One thing I really enjoyed was McDreamy as a villain.
I agree. I think that he was just really like swarmy and icky, but like he played a villain really well. I don't know if his character was completely necessary in the whole movie.
Oh, it sure wasn't.
It was not.
But I do like that, like, we hired someone who's like just known for being handsome, McDreamy, and like, or like I think any other movie he's been in, he's been like the love interest.
Yeah.
And it was fun seeing him not as the love interest, but as a huge prick that fuck humans. I'm going to side with the winning side, which is the bad robots. So peace. Fuck Chicago. It's going to get blown up. My bad. And I just like that. It was fun.
I agree. I think it was fun to see him in like this different light of just being like a terrible person and a villain. And I thought that was really cool. I wish like they did more with his character, and his character was like more necessary to the plot, but hey, whatever. I did enjoy him in that though, in the human villain role.
So this is going to sound way out of left field because I'm pretty sure it's something people complained about this movie for.
Mm-hmm.
But I like these moments. Shia LaBeouf plays Sam Witwicky, the main human that knows all of the Autobots and helps save the world twice. His parents are just a delight. They're so much fun. They bring so much energy. And we got Kevin Dunn and Julie White as his parents, Ron and Judy. And they're just both really funny. And I really think this should just be cut out and made into its own movie of some kid that has previously saved the world. He doesn't need to save the world in this movie, but he's looking for a job, and they come in on like retirement in their RV just to harass him about not finding another job. Like, why can't you find a job? Well, America sucks, and they don't like hiring people, even if I have the experience of saving the Earth twice.
So, okay, I have thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I love the parents as well. I would actually want like more of them in this movie. But
they're a huge part of the first movie.
They're such a big part of the first movie.
Which is why I think we like the first movie the most.
Maybe because they really do bring some like fun entertainment. But so to your point though about finding the job, like I liked the idea that like, yeah, he's still struggling even though he's gone through like these crazy wild big moments in his life where he's like saved the world essentially, and he can't find a job in this economy. But what drives me wild is that he's only 3 months out of college, and they're acting like he is like scum of the earth because he can't find a job. Only 3 months out of college.
You fucking idiot. You spent all your time saving the earth. You could have been building your resume.
Right? it's like, okay, 3 months out of college, that's not that bad. Like,
is that really all he was at? 3 months out of college?
They say it so many times like it's a bad thing. It's like, he's already been out of school for 3 months and can't find a job. What a fucking loser. And it's like, okay, that part is not so realistic. If he was like 6 months to a year removed out of college, okay, but it's been 3 months.
Okay, I broke something. So yeah, I mean, how is Sam Witwicky gonna be with like coronavirus and having to be home and that unemployment?
Yeah, I felt more bitter about it watching it in the age of coronavirus, where it's like,
oh, I was
you
definitely
haven't had a job in 3 months.
I was definitely stewing. I was like, oh, come on. But like, this was probably the highlight of the movie for me, is just having the parents around.
So, okay, so that leads me to a thought, an experiment of how I would change this movie. One tweak. So we haven't gotten into her yet, but
oh no,
Sam Witwicky's Shia LaBeouf has a new lady that was just a replacement for Megan Fox. Let's get another hot girl in here, Rose Huntington Whiteley. And a lot of Shia's, like, in this movie, he needs to save his girlfriend. There's so much of his, like, I gotta save her, she's the one. I would have rather taken her out. We don't need him to have a girlfriend in this movie. Number one, it's not necessary. And let's say, like, I presume he's living in Chicago, although I guess that's never explicitly stated. But let's have him, he's living in Chicago, his parents come to visit him, shit is going down in Chicago, he has to save his parents, not his new girlfriend. He has to save the parents that have always been there, that sometimes they give him tough love, but like, we know these people, we know the like weight of like, let's save them, as opposed to just like, I gotta save this hot girl that you just met. Like,
it's the third movie, we can't introduce a new character that's that important.
No. So instead of just being like, you know what, it's a new area in his life, like, he just got out of college, he doesn't need to have a girlfriend. No, apparently he absolutely did, because it's a Michael Bay movie, and what is it without a hot girl? So we get Rosie Huntington Whiteley, and I'm going to butcher her name throughout the whole episode because I have no idea what it is.
You want to just refer to her as Carly, because that's the character's name?
Carly is her name.
Way easier to say.
Sure, we'll go with Carly.
Rosie Huntington Whiteley.
Carly. So first of all, one thing that stuck out with me instantly was that the very first shot we see of Carly is literally of her ass. Literally, that's our intro. She is walking upstairs, like, no pants on, like a white shirt on, and we are tracking her up the stairs on her ass. Okay. That's
every
great.
shot of her starts with her legs.
Legs.
It's why she was hired. She's got long legs, and we're gonna put her in the shorter shorts.
So, like, my thing is like, yes, I know this is a Michael Bay movie, and we go for all the attractive people we could possibly get for Michael Bay, but like, could we not find one that could act that's hot? Because, honey, Carly cannot act.
There's a lot of things about the Carly character I don't understand as well.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, because she's really demoted to just, she's super attractive, which is weird, because like, Shia LaBeouf's character, or is Sam really getting the hottest girl? Sam seems to me like a nerd. Like, he can get an attractive girl. The hot, like, model, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and also, like, he's literally bringing nothing to the table. Like, he's like, she's like super wealthy, super attractive, gorgeous, hardworking lady, and he's a schlub who doesn't have a job.
Her job is what I want to talk about.
Oh God, yeah.
So when they meet, Sam gets a medal from Obama. Carly works at the White House as something, an aide is my guess.
I guess.
And she's like notating something, so she's definitely like an aide or press or something that works in the White House. And then I don't know how long it takes from that scene to our current story. It didn't seem like it was like any time, but now she's like an assistant for a super rich auto dealership.
Yeah.
Or Patrick Dempsey's like character, I think runs some sort of car dealership, right?
Yeah, it's like Patrick Dempsey's her boss. He's like super loaded, and I gathered runs a like high-end car dealership.
Why did
So
she leave the White House job to be a car dealer's assistant?
thank you, because the trajectory
Where
of
did this
that
come-
career makes no sense in my brain.
Like, either if he meets her at the White House, I think she would be a little bit nerdier.
Yeah.
And would have been like super smart and knowledgeable, and like had a career path to go into politics. That would have been interesting. But instead, we took it the Transformers route, where everything has to be with a car. Zoom, zoom.
Have people in cars.
So yeah, she's just a hot assistant at a car dealership.
It's really strange. It really doesn't make any sense. And I just also feel like maybe it's because it's the third movie. Maybe it's because Rosie Carly is not an actress. There's just no like chemistry from them. And like we are forced to believe that this is the one. Like they are in love, in it for the long haul, gonna get married.
We know Megan Fox has been like his girl for 2 movies, and they're like star-crossed lovers. Nope. Forget that. This is the one.
There is a few lines though where they do throw shade at Megan Fox. So there's like one point Shia says about Megan Fox's character, she dumped me and I moved on to something better. Ooh, yikes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I mean, so.
They're both beautiful women, but like, oh my god, her acting it's not like all of her fault, because she can't act. That's not her strength. But her acting is so bad that I don't buy this woman as being like smart, because I can see Rosie Carly struggling to get through the lines to the point where it's like, I don't know what you're even trying to say here. So like, I don't believe you're brilliant. Sorry. So like, all right, if you need a hot gal in there, cast someone who can read lines and is attractive. There's tons of people like that in the world.
There's tons of people in their early 20s that could have done this.
And hey, if you need a model, Michael Bay, okay, but like, let's put her in like supporting. Like, let's not have her, because she's very like up there in the cast, and it's like, they gave her way too many lines because she. And
you know what? Towards the end of this movie, I was just wondering, why is she with them to help destroy? She doesn't know. I don't think she knows how to fight, but she's also climbing up the buildings with them. Why was she there? She was on the ground. They could have just ran to safety, but she was like, no, going up top in these skyscrapers with you. I'm just another person that's a risk and danger.
They're both sort of like running around in a situation that I don't think either of them are equipped for.
Not at all.
Like, maybe Shia could be like, okay, well, you've been through something similar before, all right, but she is just like running around in heels, being all sorts of a liability. Like, no. So like, so essentially, like I said, like, he goes into Chicago to save her, but then it becomes like, oh, I got you. And instead of like, let me get you to safety, it's like, let's just run around with the army. Let's just like fuck shit up.
So what you did there reminded me of one big thing that kept bothering me the whole time. He grabs her by the wrist to lead her so many times. We're going this way. I have to be the man and be your leader.
It's aggressive as hell. And then also, like, so Patrick Dempsey, her boss, at some point like literally kidnaps her, and he's also doing the same thing. Like, he's got her by the arm and is like, look, like, come here. And it's like, okay, honeys, we don't need to be doing all that. We don't need to be like constantly like grabbing her arm to run. Like, it's just weird. It comes off super weird. I think Shia LaBeouf grabbing her wrist and like running with her is supposed to be like romantic, like, we're in this together. It's not.
It's very aggressive.
It's not at all. The relationship is not romantic. I would say just get rid of her. Like, I'm sorry, the character adds nothing. The stakes don't feel high when he needs to go save her, because like, I don't know who she is. I don't really care about their relationship. So no, I think we could have taken that character out completely and it would have been probably better.
Okay, I just want to update you with this toy. I
Oh,
can't figure out. There's his head.
mm-hmm.
His feet are back here, and I can't figure out what makes, because right now he's just like short.
Right.
I can't figure out what makes him pop forward, and it's very stressful because I feel like I'm going to snap it.
Like you're just gonna break it.
Oh no! Well, he's. What's happening? Done.
You did it.
Yay! All right. So 1 out of 4 is fine. Anyone going to see this movie is not going because there's a hot girl in it. They're going because there's Transformers in it.
Yeah. We're going to watch the robots fight.
They're either a little kid that just like, yay, Transformers fighting, or it's adult that's like, yay, Transformers fighting.
Yeah.
Let me bring my toy with me.
So one thing that I don't like about this movie is the first half. There is just way too many human things going on. So much human stuff. Like
there's a lot of human stuff.
A lot of human stuff that we don't need, like Shia LaBeouf's job hunting. I don't need to see him going in and out for interviews and like then getting a job in the mailroom. And he's like, just I get rid of all of that. If you're gonna go for this whole like fallen hero type of thing with Sam, then just have him be like a schlump, like living in his parents' like RV, like has nothing. He's not even trying, and he's like, I don't know what to do with my life. I would have preferred that rather than like going into an interview room with a deranged John Malkovich that is very tan. I forgot he was in this movie.
Same.
And I also forgot that 2-time Oscar-winning actress Frances McDormand is in this movie.
Oh, I totally forgot either one of those two talented actors are in this.
I mean, paycheck.
A fun little minor supporting role from Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
Love it.
He's there.
Such a scene stealer, that guy.
You also, who else is in there? Fucking Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut.
Yeah, he makes a cameo. I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, well, he's too good for this movie.
Oh,
that's not
man.
fair to him.
Let's talk about the JFK stuff. The whole plot of this movie
it's bonkers.
So back in the 60s, Cybertron had a huge war.
Mm-hmm.
And the Autobots and the I'm getting bored just talking about this history. They had a war on their Transformer planet. Sent the pillars, some of the pillars with what's the Prime's name? The lead Prime.
Sentinel Prime,
who's Leonard Nimoy.
Yes.
He crash lands on the moon and kind of dies in a way.
He goes like dormant. Yeah.
Dormant. And then I also completed this one.
Oh, nice.
It was easy. All right.
Good job.
2 out of 3. The whole reason they go to the moon, that the US visits the moon, is to, we landed on the moon. Okay, cameras are off. Quick, Buzz, Neil, go to that crater and see what landed there. Like, what? I like when they twist with like history like that. It's fun, but then that really goes nowhere.
Right. I do like a good revisionist history moment, but I don't need that in my Transformers movie. Like,
the government 100% knows that at least robot aliens exist.
Mm-hmm.
First movie happens. Why the hell aren't they telling them, oh yeah, by the way, something like you is on the moon? What was the catalyst that they decided, yeah, now's the time we tell them?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Why do we need to add in this like deep conspiracy theory layer about Apollo 13 and the moon landing? Because it's like, okay, cool. They found a robot alien on the moon. Like, it doesn't add anything to what happens throughout the movie, besides the fact that the government's like, oh, we've known all along. Like, okay, yeah, you knew in the first movie too, so. Okay, another wild thing is that the moon landing isn't the only revisionist history we get in this movie. Chernobyl. If you have not heard of Chernobyl, then please Google it and watch the HBO miniseries about it. Your life will change. But Chernobyl, this historically radioactive site, was an area that the Decepticons were like at as well. So it's like they tied in Chernobyl into this weird like moon landing thing.
It was like their base because nobody was gonna visit there.
Yeah.
And I don't care at all. Your space robots, you turn into cars. I don't really need a setup for this movie or a story. If I'm being completely honest, I just want to see them fight.
Also, I just gotta say, Shia LaBeouf screams a lot in this movie. Like, even when they're not in battle, that boy screams a lot. And it's very, yes. Sam is just screaming all the time.
So, Jessica.
Yes.
Do you think this movie deserves a second chance?
I'm so glad you asked. I say, shocker, this movie does not deserve a second chance. However, if you haven't seen it in a while and you're like, you know what, I want to watch it, I want to check it out, I would say maybe bring a book or a good phone game for the first hour and a half of the movie. Just have it on, maybe do laundry, maybe cook, like you don't need to pay attention. And then for the last hour, put that stuff away and watch. Or just skip the first hour and a half and go straight to the distraction. I will say though, watching this movie, as much as I did not enjoy it, it did make me like want to revisit like the first one. So I'd say don't give this a second chance. Maybe see what the first one's like. Maybe it's more enjoyable. I don't know. But no, this movie does not deserve a second chance. No.
I wish you had that advice for me when I watched it. I would have told the wife she's more than welcome to play Disney Emoji Blitz and watch this. She was a hard pass on this one.
Don't falter for that. Yep.
Hey, Megan, would you like to watch Transformers 3? No. Watch that one without me. Don't care.
Good for her.
Would I give this a second chance? Of course I would. No, I would never give this a second chance. I don't care about Transformers, and until they make a movie where it's just Transformers. Again, it's one of those movies that's like fool me once, and it's fooled me 4 times.
Oh.
Or 3 times. First one I think we all thought was okay.
Yeah.
Second one was bad. Third one is, it's tough. But then we forget about it because Chicago is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one with Mark Wahlberg. Oh, yikes!
Did not see it. I'm good.
It's rough.
I
was so irritated. I didn't see the second Mark Wahlberg one, and I didn't see Bumblebee, and I don't think I'll be seeing any more. But you know what? If you like robots fighting, go for it, man. Keep watching those Transformers. It's not for me. I wouldn't give it a second chance.
No.
But watching it, I was like, man, I know if I ever try and watch this movie again, I'm just gonna skip to robots fighting.
Yeah.
I will not watch the hour and a half of humans.
No, that's not why I was here. I was not here for that.
If you're giving it a second chance, just skip to the Chicago stuff.
Mm-hmm. Skip to the Chicago stuff.
I would also change the movie so much. I would have them go to a Cubs game. I would have them get deep dish pizza.
That'd be cute.
Just do a lot of Chicago things.
Yeah.
And they would go, it's crazy. They don't visit the Bean. And oh my God, you had your opportunity.
Well, thanks everyone for listening to another episode. We'll be back next week with another second chance movie. But in the meantime, feel free to leave a review, a comment. Let us know what movies you want us to give a second chance to. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Second Chance Movies. We're available on YouTube as well, and wherever, you found the podcast, we're available. I hate when podcasts are like, we're available on iTunes and Apple, Spotify. Blah, blah, blah.
Let me stop listening on this one and listen on the other platform.
So if you've listened to this via podcast stuff, we're on that too. Cool.
Let us know your favorite way to listen. That way we can incorporate all the listening strategies.
All of them. And thank you again to Beaty McBeatface for making our dope intro.
We love that song.
It's a great song.
I would like to see the Autobots start a band.
That'd be fun.
I would have a Transformers movie where they do normal human things and they don't fight. It's like a battle of the bands between the Autobots and the Decepticons.
Oh
Man,
my god.
fuck off.
They need to have some fun. Yeah, they need just to have like good, clean fun. They work too hard.
Their fingers would start like multiplying and playing such a weird, like, yeah. And one would just be a drum set himself playing himself. So I was able to build 3 out of the 4. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I'm so sorry, Green One. I don't know your name or how to build you or put you back.
Second chance.